The Golden State Warriors and Utah Jazz they're in similar situations tonight, guys. They both head into this Thursday matchup in Salt Lake City off of losses last night. They're both in a back-to-back situation. And they both lost to teams from L.A. Despite 41 points from Steph Curry, Golden State fell to the Clippers last night 130-125 to put an end to their 5-game winning streak. Utah lost 138-122 to the Lakers. It was their third straight defeat. Significant in the Warriors' loss on Wednesday night was twofold. The answers to my upcoming question either is simple and known, or the query is yet to be determined, and that is, who's better? Who's better? What situation do both of these teams face tonight that make last night's games, both of them, significant? There's 101 ways that you can assess the Clippers without Leonard, but the metric speaks the situation big and loud and clear. The Clippers were without Leonard last night and still won and put up a 44-point fourth quarter. Why? Because they have a group of veterans that are able to create their own shot, play smart, they're savvy, they're talented. The difference between the Clippers without Leonard and with Leonard is all defense. The metrics are they're almost identical when he's on the floor offensively. It's defensively where he brings the money. The Warriors were able to push 125 points to the scoreboard last night, to the box score, with Curry posting 41 spot. Outside of Curry, there's not really the Warriors don't have a reliable scoring source, a source that can create their own shot with a crossover or a wiggle. Just don't have it. The Clippers have multiple scoring options. That's what happened last night. And what does last night's game that I just outlined and spent time on between the Clippers and the Warriors have to do with tonight's game? Everything. Included in that skid for the Jazz that I spoke of. 129-107 loss to the Warriors on Monday night. These two met on Monday night in the first of 4 meetings between the two teams. So this will be the second one and 2 more to go. So these two teams are going to get to know each other fairly well in the second half of the season. And in those situations, almost always between these two teams, despite the fact that talented young youth, for the Jazz, the Warriors are going to have the advantage. The Warriors were the road favorite for tonight's game, which is the January 7th makeup game. Their Jazz are 17-9 at the Delta Center. Excellent. On rest, with rest, without rest. Almost every variable for the Jazz at home favors the Jazz, except for when they're facing the Warriors, who've been better on the road than have been at home. And every single rest variable, rest advantage, no advantage at rest, any of those variables that apply to tonight's game is all about the Warriors. They've just been so much better without rest too. They're 6-4 straight up and against the number, 7-3 to the over. Utah 4-5 straight up and against the number, with negative differentials, whereas the Warriors have positive differentials. There's mixed messages all through these metrics if you're looking at just the basics of these two teams. But in tonight's situation, which is important, it's all about Steve Kerr, King Kerr, and the Warriors. What happens after tonight's game is twofold. The less than all-world players in the association are they're an R&R for the next week. The above pedestrian level of talent, the elite, they meet with their peers, their family, their friends in Indianapolis at Gainbridge Fieldhouse for fun, food, and a weekend of NBA All-Star extravaganza, participations, and just a bunch of fun. I've been to one, and it'll be the last one I probably go to, but it was certainly fun. The whole weekend was a lot of fun. So the second leg of a back-to-back is all about who has the ability to execute better than the other on legs, feet, and ankles that are not fresh. Which coach is better in this situation? Which coach has more experience in this situation? The truth is, this is a slam dunk. I respect, and I believe that Will Hardy is going to be a long-tenured coach in this league. I do. I don't just believe that. I believe that with a sense and a form of passion. Steve Kerr is that, has been that, will be that. He's already there. Kerr has shown over the years that in a situation like this is where he excels as a coach, as a father, a player, that kind of a fatherly relationship. Steve Kerr's probably not going to put 41 tonight, But I can tell you this much: they'll outscore the Jazz. That's all you need to do in a game is pick them. And I have a strong lean to the over as well in this game, as long as your number is 239 or fewer. So, may I mention this? Remember, the Jazz got beat last night by 2 players, by Anthony Davis and Hodge. The 2 combined for 73 points against this Jazz. This is a young team that really needs a break. They really do need a break. I'm not saying the Warriors don't. I'm saying the Jazz need it worse. As Marky Mark goes, so go the Jazz. He scored 16 points last night. Cliche-like. Location relates to real estate. Warriors, and the direction of King Kerr. When straight up, it went up by margin, and they do so by pushing 130 plus points to the box score. You figure out the rest. I'm Tony Finn. So glad you dropped by. See you tomorrow.